feeling like I'm academics. Can't ride away.
Hey, let me tell you this real quick, and I know y'all claim I'm compromising bias. I'm gonna be very honest. And before even this, I was gonna break down Drake's track and then break down the last one that got dropped, and then I was gonna try to come up with maybe a current score. But we probably still would get there, even though we're gonna run this back like 5, 6, 7 more times. But let me be very honest, and I hope you understand that this is coming from a complete place of sincerity and honesty. And yes, I have a favorite rapper that happens to be in this, but I'm still trying my very best to be honest. And I hope you can see by my reaction by the songs. I'm not saying nothing is garbage, especially when the songs are good or whatever. Anyway, I don't. Currently, this is how I'm seeing it. And y'all could agree or disagree. Rapping wise, I don't think either or is going too crazy out rapping the other. To be fair, that's what I believe. However, I will say Kendrick is out moving Drake. He's doing the things we would expect Drake to do, and I think Drake might have started to do when he dropped Tailor Made. He's dropping incessantly, quickly, timely. He's continuing trends and doing callbacks and driving a narrative. And here's the thing, whether true or not, some of these things, because honestly, just to be honest, do I think Drake? No. Do I think he likes kids? No. And also, this is part of, this is rap battle and beef. Niggas do lie. You know what I mean? Like, Drake doesn't have a child. He doesn't have a daughter. But, shit, it sounded good for the moment. This and third. He's out salacious storying Drake. Hey, if a nigga gonna come to you with the headlines of he might be a pedophile and hiding another child, which is a daughter, shit. Like, whether both of those things are true or not, in the era where we were approaching this with some tea, like oh, somebody has to drop some tea, quote unquote. Yes, whether true or not, Kendrick is trying to drive the narrative, and I think he mentioned the daughter thing, and probably realized quickly that the reason why I think Kendrick dropped, he realized quickly that Drake may have did some like psyop, sent him on a dummy mission shit with some bad information, and one information he don't need to have, he just has to drive the narrative. It's the pedophile shit. Like, yo, you like kids. Like, yo, you're weird. You're creepy. And I think this song drives that narrative home even more. And those two things, I think he's definitely beating Drake at, right? Yo, I'm out moving this guy, and I'm also out teeing him. I'm dropping things about him. Like Drake mentioned, yo, you beat up your girl. Okay, hey, that is a piece of like information. Probably got to get it vetted a little bit. He probably also has to touch on it a little bit more for people to really know, because we don't know too much about that situation, right? He also mentioned maybe your kid is not yours, is day free. Hey, whether true or not, he would have to go down that route of trying to paint that picture. What Kendrick is kind of good at doing, once he starts on a theme, he lays the seeds. He basically like starts watering the plant, and then he pretty much starts growing this idea or this concept. And again, I do believe that Kendrick is creative enough that for the masses, I don't think it matters if these things are true, right? Like, I don't think it matters for the masses if Drake is not a fucking pervert and not a like creep. You know what I'm saying? All right, so people are saying compromise. I don't think that's a compromise take. I'm telling you, there's two things I think he has a leg up on Drake with, right? And I told you those two things. Rapping wise, maybe we could disagree on this if you want. I don't think he's out rapping Drake like that. Like, obviously, and by the way, this is more of an upbeat tempo. You're gonna think a nigga's rapping better when he's on some Al Green soul sample. I'm sorry. You're gonna think he's rapping better. But I don't think none of these niggas are clearly out rapping the others. I think Kendrick is out moving Drake and also out teeing him, whatever the case is. You get what I mean? And by the way, those things matter in the beef though. Matter in the battle. So I'm not gonna say we shouldn't consider that. Anyway, let's run this back again.
Psst, I see dead people. 4, 5 plus 5. Hey, devil is a lie.
Nah, that's hard. That's hard. I'm sorry. That's hard. That's hard. That's hard. I like the vocal intonation. I like the switch up on the beat. Mustard, I see you with the devil emojis, nigga. Yo, Mustard, can I get you on the stream today, my boy? I just want to talk to you about the beat. Mustard. I know the whole industry tuned in right now. Can I get you? The beat is fire, dog. By the way, one thing notorious about this beef, or let's just call it battle, West Coast solidarity is, we've never seen such a thing. It's like they're all pulling collectively for Kendrick, bigger than just Kendrick versus Drake. They're looking at this like this is West Coast pride. And I heard somebody say this. I heard Cam say this. He was like, yo, y'all West Coast niggas be wilding too much. Y'all be like, yo, oh, East Coast niggas be hating on us. And he was like, yo, we don't be having that collective pride on the East. Like, there's never a time where like East Coast niggas, like, I think niggas would be like, yo, first of all, New York and Philly basically don't get along right now because of the playoffs. Like, nigga, there ain't no East Coast solidarity. New York, Philly, Baltimore. You know what I mean? Like, it's very different. Anyway. All right. I like this little float, I'm going to be honest.
The other fashionable.
By the way, I'm going to ask this too. Is this is the first time we've heard an up-tempo beat by, well, I mean, some of the other beats like turned into an up-tempo beat from where it started. But this is off top. Like, this is a mustard beat. This is some shit you could be like club. Is this a hit? Is this a song that maybe will outlive the beef and be played in clubs, played on radio perhaps? I don't know if they're going to push it that far. But something that's just a hit.
Option. Say OV-ho.
Yo, chat. Two things. And this is going to sound very self-serving. And I hope I don't come across as arrogant because I'm not aiming to be. I think Kendrick strategically dropped this while we were streaming. 100,000,000%. 100,000,000% strategically he dropped this then for two reasons. I do believe that people look at me a lot for maybe potentially a narrative, right? And there was today early on, and I was going to explore it a bit, the narrative that Kendrick took the bait. Like, he took the bait that Drake laid with some false information, went off and did a song, which, by the way, sounds good, but if we look at the information on face value, it might have been misled, and also it might have been set up by Drake the entire time, right? I think purposefully, he literally, like, as soon as we're getting into it on stream, and again, maybe I'm just delusional, I could be, sorry, he drops immediately. Interesting. Anyway, run this back. I like the song, though. I do like the song. I can't even cap. I do like the song, though.
Psst. I see dead people.
By the way, it doesn't matter if he's like if he's watching it. That means that's smart on his behalf. That's showing, part of how Kendrick's moved is that he's looking like he's not engaged, but he's all the way engaged. He's not tweeting. He's not posting shit to a story. He's not reacting. You're not seeing him out. He just seems to like nobody knows what's going on. I've asked a lot of people who, are ancillary around that PG Lang family. Everybody says they're acting like they're at Area 51. They're not telling us. So if you hear anybody give you a heads up about Kendrick's moves, they're lying. They're saying it's as close to the chest as possible. If you aren't maybe 4 or 5 people, you have zero idea what Kendrick is doing, right? Maybe also that's probably, why he's also saying whatever mode with Drake. But I think Kendrick's sitting back and he's playing this very strategically, okay? And again, I know some of y'all said L narrative. I mean, he name dropped me on one of the songs, so I'm not going to think it's out of the realm that maybe he's watching and saying, you know what, let me fuck him up again. Oh, that nigga's trying to run? Okay, let me fuck him up again, right? Who knows? Could be wrong, but that's what I'm saying. Anyway, what are we rating this song right here? And by the way, what round is this song in? I'm going to create a list afterwards because I thought we were at the beginning of possibly the third round. Beginning of possibly the third. But after this Kendrick drop, this feels like almost like either he's gotten a bye or he's just starting a whole nother round before Drake is even, sending his next shot. If there is going to be a next shot. And by the way, we don't know if there's going to be. If this is a sample. By the way, Mustard, I love when you use samples, by the way. Like, for example, Ballin'. Like, that was an amazing beat. And I think the sample added to just why that song, that beat and that song overall was great. So figure out what sample this is, all right? Also, another thing, because I hate pausing this too again. I'm sorry, even though I keep saying it. Hey, listen, industry players or whatever, I don't know a lot of y'all. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know a lot of y'all. And I know some of y'all might have adverse opinions about me. This ain't the time. I understand the value of the platform at this point. And I've seen some of y'all take shots. I won't even dignify with a response. Because at this moment, it's bigger than just what you feel about me. It's about this conversation that, sorry to tell y'all, is happening here. About these two titans going against each other. So whether you like me or not, I don't want my voice. Yes, I'm influential, but I want my voice to bias out the conversation or skew it one way. You could reach out to me and be like, yo, I want to get on there. I want to get on here and spit my shit. So, and that goes for anybody. If you're a personality, DJ, if you're an artist, I absolutely am welcoming all voices. I don't care if we even have issues. Like, I'll let you talk uninterrupted. The platform, and this is me realizing, like, me being in this position, it ain't about me. Like, it's about hip hop, and it's not about who I like or who I don't like or my personal feelings. So I'm encouraging and welcoming everybody, right? Because I see a lot of y'all on Twitter getting y'all little 300 retweets. Just come on here and let's talk. Yeah, okay, my bad. I'll shut the fuck up.